Greetings, travelers. It's me, APG, yet again, just hanging out. A little weird day at work, and I thought it'd be nice to hang out with some people. So with that said, I hope whatever time of day it is for you, and whatever it is you might be doing, I hope it's going well. Also, hope you're not getting tired of me. I know I've been on quite a bit lately, but yeah, it's more fun hanging out with people doing this. I mean, yes, I can do this and play alone. I do often, but it's a lot more fun when I get to hang out with the community of No Man's Sky. So, and speaking of community, welcome Black Vanilla. How you doing? How's it going? Man, I really want to use the larger wire. uh, I mean, while this works and all, I think the thicker wire gauge would be much, much better. And I got this whole thing in front of me to deal with. Alright, let's try and do something with this here. We need another element. So let's try and throw another one in there. Sad, what is going on, yo? That's a lot of O's. Did your key get stuck? What's going on? How you doing? I still feel like I can, maybe in this one I can integrate this a little bit. Let's see what we can do with this one here. I really like, and I think unfortunately that the reason I got this other effect on this one was, yeah, it totally had to do with the wire hider. Shoot. So I had a cool effect here. Right on, Manny. Thank you much, bro. I hope you're doing well. Manny, the man, the myth, the legend. Glad you're doing good, homie. See, now I'm wishing, wishing we had some that like the wire hider, but not to hide the wires. I don't want to hide the wires. Not now, anyway. I want to try something here. Will this allow me? That's not gonna. The kit snap to that. Now, if I actually, yeah, that's what happens when I do that. Okay. Farfignugan. See, I want to do the large scale wire in a circle with a center point, but I can't. There's no way to do it. I mean, I could do something along the lines, but what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have a bunch of solar panels in the middle of it. We're going to lose that pulsating central point, which is kind of important. And sort of what makes, that central bit what it is. That right there. What if, but the collision bubble is going to be too big. Son of a gun. That's the other problem. The collision bubble on the wires is quite extensive. Alright, so what happens if we... Because the solar panel is the only one small enough that has 4 connection points in it, going northeast, south, and west. Now, if they could just fix the problem of things deleting with the electrical connector, we could go a little bit further. But the problem is, when you connect to it deletes the wire, which it's odd because it never used to. What else has this? Has 4, but again, it's something I need to leave behind. So this is supply pipe. It says what, 2 or 4 on it. Okay, the battery. We could use a battery maybe. All right, let's try it with the battery. All right, let's see if we can get the battery working with this. I just see, we'll see what it looks like. It may or may not. May or may not work. I mean, there's only one way to tell. To do it. Ooh, it's raining outside. I like the sound of the rain against the window. Or in this case, the skylight. Alright, so if we use the battery, we're going to get a circular bit. Alright, let's try this, shall we? We can't do it like that. We have to do it one at a time. So let's start with that one, straight up and down. Okay. We're not going to quite have a center either. We're going to have that goofy thing in there too, so that's another thing to consider. Alright, so then if we move it to here, that's the one I want. Okay, so I don't want that one. I don't want that one. That leaves me with that one. Right on. Now, let's just hope I don't miss my glitch. And will this... Okay, so that's going to give me my 45s. 1, 2, 3, right? Bum, bum, bum. Unfortunately, we have that battery symbol in there. And that's odd. Even though I twisted the battery, the symbol... Yeah, see, it's going to look stupid. I think that's the one we want. Oh, that's my 45. No, that's the one I do want. 40, wait. Is that one I just did? No. Okay, good. Damn it. My glitching is way off these days. They swear they changed something. I'm doing my normal. crapola. And for some reason, I can't seem to frickin' glitch. There we go. Jeez. Did I double up on something? One, two. There it is. Okay, I did. All right. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I could. It just looks horrible. Bleh. Ooh. It looks so ugly. Shocking. And Janet, welcome. Yeah, man. I really got to say, it has changed. Something is different with it. And I don't care if this is perfect right now. I just want to see potentially what the center would look like. I may not even do the whole entirety of it. Ooh, range coming down where I live. Could throw another one in there. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's the whole point is the center. Like when you stop it here, it just looks like exactly that. You just stopped. Oh, I'd have to do the other. Yeah, I'm missing one. But just for now, it's not the same. You have to do a center point. And crossing it over. All right, so if we do a crossover, right, we're going to have that. The problem we have with that is Bobby McGee. What is going on? Right, the problem with that is when you do the crossover, you get to a certain point. And again, don't care that it's not going to be perfect here. This is all right now. I think this is our 45. And then we'll do Oops. Where is this? This is supposed to go where? Here? Right, whatever. Alright, so when does it start to do the weird flippy-do change? So does it matter which way you take that? Is it really directional? So instead of starting down there, if I started here and went down, are those going in two different directions? It's freaking impossible to tell. Right on, Bobby. I've done that. It's a difficult job, but it's definitely really cool. A lot of things you can do with that skill. The only way to really truly see this is to do it, unfortunately. Alright, let's make a quick one, because I want to see if this is possible. It's about the center. You know, if you don't have that overflow on the center, it kind of defeats the purpose of the whole look of this thing, you know? And this is not going to be perfect, but again, it's more about the test. I forgot where I started that one. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. We'll do it like this. We'll start them all on that white line, and that right there. And then we will end them all in the same fashion. Alright. So, I don't know. I'm like, does it change? Where does it change? Alright, so we're going to try. So we've been going top down, right? Top down, and then this is our halfway. So if I go top down, okay, so this is, I guess, where our test would be. Right, so let's take a look at the animation for a moment. And I think Crisscross did this the other night, I just wasn't around to watch. Alright, so I'm looking at the bright spot, like right in the center, and then up, you know, about a, boom, right there. Like that. Oh, jeez. Hold on, give me a moment. Let me attack this right away, please. Unfortunately, we are going to have to hold on a minute while I kill the bot. Oh, jeez. It's been a while, too. Should be happy. Unfortunately, I now need to... Hey, G2, what's going on? Thank you, homie. But I'm gonna do something I do with these. Alright. Give me one moment. I do apologize. We're going to just try to take care of the bot as quickly as I can. And I think there is a way that I've been kind of catching them and doing this thing, but whether or not it's actually working, I don't know, but I've been relatively... there you are. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go here. And I'm going to do this. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. And hopefully, whether or not it happens or not, hopefully, that will take care of that. If it doesn't, well, and what I mean by take care of that, it'll take care of it for tonight, but may not do anything permanently. Okay, so we've gone top down from every one of these, right? So if I continue with that thought, this should, for all intent and purpose, Sergeant Belson, what's going on? I did not call out. I went to work today. I would like to have called out. It would have been nice to not have to go to work, just do this all day, but I unfortunately have, like, those things like bills, like that sort of stuff. Occasionally I like to eat. See? There it is. No matter what, because it is directional, right? What we're going to get is this sort of flip-flop. I mean, we've done this already. We did this, a while ago, but oh, well, with me, you never know. But I'm just wondering if we continue. All right, so that would be here. So then would this also be top down, or would I then go bottom up here? And would that make a difference? You see, it's not, since we're flowing in a direction and if it's one directional that the animation is going, although it does look, bi-directional and random, but it's not. I'm trying to see, it's just swirling. Yeah, see, and it's not symmetrical. It's one side lights one way, the other side lights another way. So though I don't think that, and you can't flip it because no matter how you put it down, all right. So if we did, all right, if we go top down and then bottom up, it's directional, right? It's hard to tell. All right, there's that bright light there. That really only happens near the bottom on the left. That's in the middle there. Yeah, it does matter because the last time I made one, and Crisscross made one as well, um, you get this half and half effect. So, like, half of it lights and spins off in one direction, the other, like, kind of dims and spins off in the other direction. So I'm just trying to see, and we'd have to reload to be certain. I'm having a hard time telling. All right, we'll try it. Oh, I can't freaking tell. All right, if we go with our theory currently, if I go, since I went from the top down on all of these, right? If we go with that and we, oops, and we use that as our theory, okay, we've done this left quadrant, all right, and that obviously is going to give us both sides there. So we've done these 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not going to matter anyway, because what happens here is since we're crossing over the middle of the wire, it doesn't matter. So we're crossing the middle of the wire. So if I go left, if we take this from, yeah, it's not going to matter. We can't get that. It's always going to be a half and half. Dreaming screams. What's going on? It depends. Dreaming screams. I use the wire differently for different purposes, and depending on what I'm doing is what I'm using for reference. So I a lot of times, like, how do I explain this? So for certain techniques, I'm looking down the barrel of the wire to line things up. Other times I'm, using, if I can see it, the cursor dot. But like currently I'm using the white band. Um, so I'm just to kind of get a quick line up, I'm using that white band right here. And it doesn't have to be perfect right now because I'm not trying to, I'm just experimenting with this particular thing. All right, so, and then when I put it back, I take this white band and do the same thing because it's the same white band if you look in there. Yeah, it's a half and half split, so it doesn't matter how I do this. I don't think. We're always going to get the same effect. I would tend to disagree a little bit with that one, GT. uh, it depends on your viewpoint, really, sometimes. Because if you think about it, if I put this dot, it is the center, but sometimes it's not. Does that make sense? It depends on the perspective you're looking at. But a lot of times I'll be in here and I'm using that pencil point in there. See that little pencil point in there? So, I'm not relying on that as my center for the dot. At that point, I'm relying on, I'm using a different, technique. It's by technique. It's like anything. The more you kind of do it, the more, the better you become. But they did change the timing, and now things are a little wacky. But yes, technically the cursor is the center. But for, a lot of things that I do, it oftentimes is not. It's not what I'm using as my center point. But if you look, yes, it's, you can kind of see it right there. So it doesn't see now, and if I were to take this lower quadrant and then go bottom up, it's not going to make a difference. So there's that half and half, what I'm talking about, like how, this moves in this direction and then this gets sucked in, moves out, and the animation is different. So even if I were to flip that around and go the other direction, it wouldn't matter, right? True. Yeah, exactly. You are correct, sir. But see what I mean? It's just a half. Where since it's an animation that kind of goes from center out, it on the wire here. If you look at it, it kind of goes off to the each end and then kind of bounces back off at the end and returns. Right? So it's kind of swirling down towards the connector and then swirls back in towards the center. Right? See, and then it kind of mixes on the two trips. You can kind of see how kind of one's going by a little brighter, and then where they mix, it gets that bright spot, which should be right about there, and there. So, all right, now that we kind of, and I'm sure Chris Cross spent some time on this yesterday, but I did not, so I'm kind of, and I apologize if this is boring you. In APG, Kevin, either one works. Yeah, so it's a center, kind of center out, and then back in. So it swirls out, and swirls back in, brighter, and then the more translucent, duller sections, transparent, translucent. All right, so no matter what you do when you cross it, ain't gonna work. It's always gonna have that animation, and it doesn't really seem. I mean, it doesn't really have a direction, if you will. It does sort of seem to be a left and a right, I suppose. And also, if the wire's twisted a little bit, it'll probably change the animation because you're going to be looking at a different curve as you sort of look. It's a bit different. It's also at a different angle. Either way, it's still cool as hell. Sexual Tyrannosaurus. What is going on? How you doing? In a bit. No, I was just kind of noodling out some new kaleidoscope ideas. Just to kind of take a break from the city for a minute. Although I should probably get back to it. But this, the new wire and terminus animation got me thinking, about doing some different things with the kaleidoscope. And just the whole interactions right here, like the color changing. I need more light to highlight certain things. I think that it would help a lot. Just trying to figure out how to put it in there and not have it look like, here's a light. But I think a little bit of lighting in there would help to bring out some of that animation and color. But it also changes depending on distance from but see how we have some light in, but I think if we were to get the, all the rest of that metal banding that creates sort of that Celtic pattern, I think if we were to get the rest of that lit somehow, I think that would look, bring out the rest of the animations. Because if you look, as we get in closer, this is where like all the cool ass animations happen and all the mixture. Look at the swirling blues and as we'll come out. I think if we go up to the side, we get a little bit more. Okay, and see how that interacts there? That's what that is. That's what's causing that. But see all that cool swirly color and that's dope. Why is that not happening more? We need more of those in there with stickers. Okay. But that's where that little glint of color's coming from. There's still, like, if you look over here to the left, interior, you can still see those colors kind of twisting off of that. But that's where those bits of animation are coming from when those hit that. Ah. Yep, there it is right there. Boop, boop, boop. So if we brought in another set, that might get too much. But see that right there, all that color. Maybe I just need more sticker or to alter the sticker. Right, so as this comes through, bang, bang, right, that changes color right when it hits there, but it's picking up the color of that particular sticker, I would imagine. Yeah, see right there, that like, that's a good angle actually right there. Hey, keys. And again, and for those of you who just are seeing this for the first time, as we back away from it, we also get a whole different sort of animation and, look. And again, I'm thinking if I can get a little bit more light in here, this will, when we're at this distance, it almost look like an eye. And then we have all that cool sparkly bit that comes around there like that, especially when the color hits. But yeah, now that kind of, we're just seeing. Ooh, yeah, go ahead. I've seen something like that. Somebody did something like that a while back. All right, let's do a safety reload. I haven't done anything I care about, right? Yeah, no, we know what that's going to do. It's an animation from the center out that goes in and back. So there's nothing we can do with that without having some form of ugly center because we're stuck with only so many connections and the deletion when removing the part that we're connected to. So in order to do a full scale wire like that, and have the center like we have with the regular, wait a minute, no, would that work? That would be a pain in the ass. That would be a pain in the ass. I think I think I might have an idea. It's manual placement, but it's the only way I can think of doing it. How would that work? Oh, and you know what would happen now, I bet you. Yeah, we'd get a collision bubble issue. Alright, just kind of quickly. Collision bubble afterwards isn't there. Man, this would be a freaking pain in the ass. No, because as soon as I do that... Oh, no, no, no. My cursor's right there. No, no, we're underneath. Alright, shite. Damn it. So, yeah, because as soon as I bring that out, it's going to go to the top. Alright, we can't do that. Never mind. No way to do that. Because then once I bring my camera underneath, so even if I started up top, we're now connected to the wire. And again, collision bubble. But all right, wait a minute. So, what if I... Oh, thank you, Dreamin'. Hey, Victor, holy crap. I have not yet, hey, Victor. How you doing, by the way? I've been working on the city, and then I came up with a new sort of kaleidoscope-y thing. But I'm having an issue. Because once I do this, my problem becomes... And I'm trying to work out this problem. So if I do that, we'd have to get center every single time. And then here's our problem again. We have we're going to have the collision bubble of the wire. right? But then if we go in here with a standard wire, and then do the same, but yeah, see, now we do free placement, scale that up. It's going to lock our connections out, right? So, but we're not supposed to be snapping, right? So it's snapped, but I think it's just a question of, the only way to do it was the other way I was doing it. So I do that. Can I still get in that gap with this? Yeah, basically. Then we snap that, free place it. We're going to run out of negative space though. Bring that back in. Okay, now you go snap, free place, and yeah, never too old. Never. No, not at all. Between Beeble's videos and if you spent like an hour with me. Yeah, see, but we're never going to get that center point, right? See, when we already have the larger wire, that's when the connection gets to be an issue. So if we're still, yeah, it's going to eventually be an issue. Alright, so if we snap free place, it's going to put us topside. See, we're getting that collision right there. And then as soon as I were to do, say, oh, I don't know, that, shite. I think it's still the same amount of connection points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see, then that brings us out more. It's kicking us. Yeah, it's going to be a point where that's going to, and it's not, yeah. Not going to be working. That won't work. It's going to be sloppy. And I think once I put that in there, we're going to lose our, yep, now that's gone. Okay. Yeah, there's no place to go in. Yeah, we're locked out. All right, that's kind of what I thought. All right. Darn it. How am I going to make this work? But this is the new, new kind of kaleidoscopy thing. Get the stupid menu out of the way. Due to the new animations and like stink on a skunk. But yeah, 8-Picture, this is kind of the new bit, and there's some really great stuff happening in here. A lot of great coloration changes, and yeah, see, look at how it reflects. See, that's what I need to do. That's where we need to get things going. All right. So it needs to reflect off of some sort of light source from there, I bet. All right, so we want something that we can connect to the electrical connector, which unfortunately at this point is right side up. But we do have a slight angle down. You see how that's catching that? Yeah, it's totally catching the color of that. Well, that's catching the color of the cubes. All right, so that's how we can get some more of that lighting, maybe. There's so many people out there who are fantastic builders these days. It is so hard to keep track. Uh, it's truly gotten to the point where I'm like, I can't keep up with all the amazing talent in the community anymore. Back in the day, it was like 6 people that you were like, yeah, those guys are awesome. How did they do halfway? Like, glitch building, what's that? Now every time I look, I'm like, who the hell did that? Who's that? Like, I've never heard of that person. So, as much as I think the large scale version, unfortunately, at this point, unless they can have it where you can delete an object and even then, yeah, there's no way to do the large scale version. You can only connect 9 times to it. That's the first problem. You can't universal adjacency like I did here. You can't go from an electrical connector to an electrical connector. You, you can't do the crossover because it's an animation that goes in 2 directions. I don't have my lighter. Um, there's all sorts of cool other swirly bits in here too that I like. But they're not lit enough at the moment to truly see them. And I think if we get some lighting in here, but how? We've got tons of electric connectors, but they're all facing the wrong way. And since they fixed all of that, and I can't even tell what direction I'm in right now with that, like, is that facing up or down? All right, those are facing in. All right, it's facing in. This is facing in towards, everything's facing outwards except for the base terminus, which are facing towards where we want. Okay, we could potentially put something in there. Thank you very much. Only with not as much talent as Bob Ross. But look at all that color change. As those cubes breach in, that's when that color, everything gets distorted and sort of warped. How do we make that more prevalent? Stickers become a problem on a number of levels. We have giant collision bubbles, then we have the square or the long rectangular strip. Looks like a pool pH test strip. Where the connectors are on the terminus, I don't want anything to block all of that. So if we glitch something there, it has to be small. Although we could. Alright, we have a reload place. We haven't saved anything. And if I put that there, it's gonna what? We're gonna have a circle in the way of that, and that's gonna look like crap. This is gonna be in the exact same place as this, but in a different spot. This will be heading in the same direction. That's going to be, yeah, circle. Okay, then we have when the solar panels open. And we go from that to that. What if we take a battery? And I put the battery here. And here. And then I take, you're going to delete that when I remove you, aren't you? Yes, you are. I know you are. I know you're gonna. I can sense it already. So, oh, I should have went. I didn't want that. I wanted the battery. Not the biofuel reactor. Okay, now that gives me. Where's that point? One there. There's one here. Where's that going? That's following directly down that line. Okay. And what direction are you facing? No. No, 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 no. Okay. We're at that point of, you know, it looks good, but there's that one thing that's going to make it stand out. And we are also, unfortunately, in a brighter planet than I would prefer to be. Planet Random 48, okay, yes, that's right. And that APG doesn't have an afro. I do not have an afro, although I love an afro. I do. I have since I was a kid. Dated a girl once. She hated when I asked her to do it. Which is why it was rarely done. Yeah, I mean, it's good the way it is, but it needs something, man. We're lacking a thing. We're lacking something. Now, there's a cool thing that would look great in this, and it's a combination of two items that would work perfectly, but it hides the wires. Well, we got a wayward lost one. Somebody's lost. No, I lost one. One got deleted. Okay. Restore point. Ooh, maybe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm. 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 Why must you taunt me? We may just go back to the city, work on the city. Why must you taunt me? And then this one here. So the center on this one I think we're gonna keep open like this, or maybe back it. So I started this one. This center's pretty cool. I like what that does. It's got a nice look to it. But the problem is, and I'm wondering maybe just a color change here. Oh, that would be a pain in the ass to color change. Yeah. Yeah. Try it on the smaller one. Shock and awe. The museum. Oh, that reminds me. Not so well. I'm curious if we're actually going to get that curved wall from the old days. I don't think we're gonna. So I was hoping we were gonna get that because it would solve a problem I'm having. Um, right, now we're back. Like, wait a minute, there's a cube missing. I deleted something somewhere. All right, you're talking this planter, the new planter. These freaking exclamation points. Let me get rid of a couple of these. I think it's where is it here somewhere? No, it's in the other. This one, the illuminated pot. See all that color in there, man? Like, how do we get that to be... You know what? Just, let's go stupid. Let's just put in a freaking light, right? What happens? You definitely see that color. Like, you see more of that swirling action from a distance. Alright, just for Hardy Harhaus, we'll reload. Because I might be able to bring this in from backside. I mean, the color's nice. That bit of green in there is kind of cool. We do get more of the sparkly effect in there than we weren't getting. See, I knew it was lighting. I knew we needed light. All right, how do we get the same type of effect, but not with a pill light? But allow you to say you built it? And I'm kind of bummed because Shock and I want to get that museum done, you know, but sometimes, you know, part of the reason I'm doing what I'm doing now is it's reliable and there's nothing set in stone with this sort of thing. Like the museum, like I need to make a cool looking building. I got to put in artwork, you know, it's not, yeah, we need light in there. It totally needed the light. How do we get this lighting in there? And that looks good too. Now we're seeing all that swirly bit going on a lot more. Like it's now we're seeing it even without the cubes interacting. We've got a little bit of that glitter in the center going on. Yeah, we need light. I knew we needed light. All right. How do we achieve this? In a similar fashion, but at the same time, simultaneously, hiding our light source. Not like that. Although, again, you know, it is that light that is causing us to be able to see all of that spinning animation. Ooh, that does look good, though, that green. Can we do it with a regular size light? Yeah, see that green, man, that really brings it out. That really adds to that. Shite. Shut up and take my money. Yeah, I wish people would pay me to build it, but I'm an odd builder, man. Like, if I'm not inspired or, like, you know, if the muse ain't musing, you know, sometimes I get lucky and I'm just, like, in the flow. Other times I'm like, you know, yeah, it needs that light. That looks good like that, demon. I don't like the pill lights, but it kind of is okay. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. What if I... That would be a pain in the ass, but maybe that's possible. How much does that come through when you do that? Let's find out. What shows when I do this? It's not going to matter because it's going to... Yeah, I don't care what it... Alright, so that much shows, which actually looks cool. It cuts that rounded bit off a bit. So if I have a center point and that's what's showing, and say we do, yeah, we'd have to do the center. But what I could do, which would be something I should have probably thought about earlier, but where is the center point in relation to, which I'm no longer able to get to? You idiot. You idiot. Actually, not true. I mean, I'm an idiot, but it looks like I can get at least one of these. But that's going to just be in the center. Oh, you moron. I could redo this, but where's the center point here? What if I just put light here? No, its center point's here. And we've only got 2 layers, one and then our... Which actually I could remove from out here, couldn't I? Can you tell? got multiple layers in there, so it's hard to tell. I wonder if the light's coming through or not. I think it just needs the ambient light from where we're at. I just don't like the fact that you can see the pill light. But the overall effect with the green lighting is pretty darn cool. All right, looks like we are going to need to reload if we want to see what another color looks like. Yeah, okay. Once those are in there, guess what? They're in there. You ain't getting them out. Hey, Levi, what's going on? How are you doing, homie? Well, not much. Just, a TIE Fighter Squadron. So even, yeah, see the green with the red is nice too. And it really highlights, that ambient light really, really highlights. Just a cute, oh, wait a minute. No, because I can't get at that light to freaking delete it. Or can I? If I can, maybe we can attach the light. There's no way I can get in there, is there? All right, we got to reload. Yep. Right on. Burritos and Elden Ring. Sounds like a good combination. Yes, streaming. I know of that. Yes, I have a window in my city like that. I don't know if you've seen my city or not. But if you have not, I'm probably going to need a break from this in a minute. This is why the stream is titled "Just Hanging Out." See, we're getting some of that effect, but with that light, we got considerably more. I felt like you could see the sparkles in the center better. We can still see them now, but I think, with everything. What if we take a regular pill light and put it in? That's weird. That's what I wanted right there. Alright, so if we take a regular pill light, because now they took my switch away. The switch would have been perfect for this. You know, just when you're. Oh, thank you, thank you. It's all right. It has its areas of that I like. All right, just because we can reload. Not quite the same. It's nicer aesthetically. Aesthetically, that fits much, much better, but are we gaining anything from that? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's lighting where the green was lighting, that little that smaller triangular arrowhead shape on the bottom. And with the two lines, yeah, I liked the green. Oh, gotcha, Levi. I mean, aesthetically, that is much better. The dual line, it works with it. But yeah, so you were highlighting more of a white light there, I think. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, now see those blend in a lot more. I'm not, they look almost like they belong, but are we, are we, is this a benefit? It seems like it is. It seems like it's highlighting the rings more. Like I'm seeing the swirl of the ring and some highlights a lot more clearly now. I want to say that light is definitely beneficial. I mean, that we always see more when we see the fog, but like here, I liked the green. Although this isn't bad. I mean, it's a white light, so it's highlighting the already kind of green tint. But as we see here, the reflection, see that white kind of S shape? And see how it's consistent here on each one of these? Because it's taking that light from that. Just because. Why not? We can. I just want to see. Where are you? What are you? Oh, that's you again. Okay, that's fine. Well, that changes things, doesn't it? Now we're lighting up the entirety of the outer set of rings. And again, and we're not really seeing much in the way of that. Yeah, we're just seeing some dot. That actually blends in all right. Now it's just a question of what does this look like in the blue? Yeah, but now we're dealing with, if we go candelabra bloom, now we're dealing with the post of the bloom, the bulb, the asymmetry of that, the size, which is then going to take over a lot of what we got going on here, would be my guess. I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot more of the sparkly effect. We see more of the pattern. Like, I'm going to keep my mind's eye on this for a minute, and then we're going to reload, because putting those in is super easy. The internal ones definitely, I think, help. Because we're trying not to detract from the cool, I mean, we got, I wish they had given us an animated camera. Although now, at least in the red tone, we're losing that much light. We're losing some of the wire animation, but that's okay because it's actually more about the center and how that's doing its thing, right? And the swirly bits in the middle. It's too much light here. Okay, now I think we have too much. What sounds like an endless rabbit hole? It is an endless rabbit hole. Building is an endless rabbit hole. I'm just waiting for the shite to turn blue so we can see what it looks like with the blue version. I apologize. But it's a very different look day to night. I mean, either way, it's still a neat thing. Just trying to see if it's, are we lacking something here? Is this too much? I really, I'm torn. We need to see it in blue. I think we've lost some of the depth with all that light. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect timing. I think the initial light was enough. And I'm good. Hey, Sean. I agree with you. The green was the best. I wonder if I can hide the pill light with the other light, keeping the green, but changing the look. So if I wonder what's going to take over, the pill light or the table light. Probably the pill light is going to be bigger. But I wonder if I double up on the two parts there. But see, it needed the light. Now, like, see, we get the occasional, we get the occasional spin. You can kind of see it, but you're missing like a lot of the other detail that's back there, you know? But at the same time, all right, so let's try, we'll do one double up and see what we get. See, they go in. They go in differently. Actually, before I do that, we'll experiment. Hmm. It's going to be random all the time now. Neat, but no. Not for this one anyway. Just for ha-has? That's kind of it on our lighting. At least for lighting. Without getting into wackiness. Just because. Now see if I could. That would be cool. If I could have a red and a blue mix, and then, you know, during the day it would be red, and at night it would be blue. Have a contrast. Sean, what the hell am I looking at? Oh. Yep. You're looking at something. See, and then this is creates a whole different thing and a different issue. I think our initial, like this here, would be perfect, but then we lose the center. We lose the whole point of what we're doing. So that's kind of a bummer in itself. We can't move the wire anymore, which is a bummer. Yeah, we're limited on some light. And we got fog. This, unfortunately, yes, it's a good lighting, but it's not going to fit with this. Plus, then we have the round base and that light to think about. Not a bad idea, because it is one of the few things you can change the lighting on without throwing a sticker on top of it. And we're just kind of stuck with this stuff. And this will go in what direction? What do you do? It's low profile, but really doesn't help with anything. All right. So far, in my opinion, the green, I'm going to agree with you. Hey, Ted, what's going on? Thank you. I agree with you, Dreamin', that the green definitely was the best. But I think in terms of, adding light but not going overboard, I think the table light there is going to be the answer. It doesn't take away from it as much. But as we see here, even during the day right now, we're missing a lot of like it's just sort of like, oh, here's a little bit of it. Oh, here's a little bit of it. So we don't want to go overboard with the light, but we do need to put them in there. So I think it still kind of gives off a green glow from the base terminus. But it's a pretty discreet light. The shape is neat. The two lines go with the lines, and the wire goes right through the middle of it. So, it provides that light. And now we're seeing much more of all the animations, the swirls. And as we kind of get in closer, we're really starting to pick up on all that. Yeah, it's not overbearing. I still, it might be wondering if maybe we should maybe throw that light here. Wonder if that would cascade enough down. We used a pill light. But yeah, during the night. All right, let's see what that looks like when it opens, and then we'll think about that one. Yeah, we're now a lot more visibility on the sparkly bits, the swirly bits. I think that is a good amount of light. All right, can I delete that? I can. All right, let me just make sure I can delete all of them. Before I save. Good luck, buddy. Funny how I can delete the base terminus itself, but I can't. I can't get to the light, which is in front of it. But it's caught in the wire and the base terminus. All right. Do we save? I think we're all right. I think we can save that. All right, let's do a save. Why not? It needed the light. That is sort of the best option at the moment. In a worst case scenario, you know. And this is why I kind of miss having the separate saves, where I had control over two different saves, not one that just continually saves randomly. Because how I used to work my saves, and how a lot of people do, or did, was you had an autosave and a manual save, right? Autosave was when you're getting in and out of your ship, and teleporting in and stuff like that, and then you had your manual saves, right? So for me, when I was working, I would get to a point in my build where I'm like, all right, I like where I am. We're good right here. I'm going to make a manual save and an auto save. And then I would kind of work off my manual save. I'd start R&Ding, sketching out, ideas on that. And then when I would screw up, I would revert to my manual save, right? But I always had that one spot where I was completely happy with what I was doing. So that way, if I needed to, I could be like, I totally screwed up, or, I don't, I could always go back to that one point. Yeah, it may have been a while back, but I knew it was a point where I'm like, all right, yeah, this is where I need to be. Now you kind of have one like that, which is now your manual save. Since the autosave saves well, Beeble said he thought it was uh, every time you started moving, but with our testing, we sat there and watched and waited for the save symbol. So, like, I think we said it was every 2 minutes or every minute. I think it was every 2 minutes, or it might have been every minute. So, if we keep an eye on the lower right-hand corner of the screen, okay, we're going to see the little save bubble thing in a moment. Although, every time that 14 or whoever's watching there. And thank you guys for stopping in and hanging out. Just chilling here tonight. We're going to take a break from this in a minute and go to the city. So I was standing here, and let's just see what happens here. First, we got to wait for that little spinny bubble thing. I think it's every 2 minutes. I think we timed it. But I could be wrong. And there was a patch since we did that initial. So if we look right now, our autosave is 2107. Okay, now if I move, I don't see that little save icon. Okay, so now let's just stand here for a minute. Okay, there's our save bubble right there. Boom. Now, I wasn't moving. We're going to stand here for just a second. We're going to look 2108. See, we just looked. It was 2107, right? So a minute. So 2108 right now. We'll wait to see what happens. But we had done this the other night. I haven't moved. I believe it still saves my... Wait for that little savey bubble thing to pop up. Come on, little save spinny bubble. There it is, right there. Boom. 2109. So, I don't think it's when you move. I think it saves every minute. So every minute you're reverting. So I almost want to say that, and keep an eye on that lower right. We'll see that bubble go again, that little spinny thing. This is what we did the other day. It had nothing to do with my moving. It was a timed thing. We'll wait for that bubble to show up again, and then we'll check our time. Ooh, I love the sound of rain outside on the window. Come on, spinny bubble. Come on, spinny bubble. Where are you, spinny bubble? Come on. Come on. Although the watching sign keeps happening, so I'm missing the... $21.07, $21.10, so it's 7, 8, 9, 10. Or wait, we were at 9, 10. Yeah, we were at 9, so it happened when something popped up, when it said how many viewers I had in the lower right-hand corner, but it keeps blocking you. So I have not moved from this spot. I think it just saves. Yep, okay, there it is right there. There's the spinny bubble. 2111. All right, now whoever's in chat, I know I'm not the most exciting streamer in the universe, but just hold on for a moment before you leave. So it doesn't cover that. I just want to see here. So if it's every minute that it's saving, it is sort of an undo. So I think people may have been mistaken. I think he just happened to, I don't know, on the moving part. Although it might when you go and move, but I didn't notice that either, because we sat there for a minute, we moved our character, and... Okay, spinny bubble, 2112. So it's every minute. So you could potentially mess up, go back a minute. Or 2 minutes, But that's the thing. If you mess up and then you revert your autosave, it's a minute ahead. You just messed up. You see what I'm saying? I don't know about this. Yeah, this one I'm not sure about. Every minute. Two moving objects together to form a wing flap. A wing flap? Let me go into my other creative save let's go into the city for a minute. I'm getting a little burnt out on this thing. It's neat. It's definitely cool. I love the animations. It's definitely worthwhile, but I'm at that impasse of I don't know what to add to it. I don't want to take away from the center. I want to highlight it. You know, I want, you know what I mean? I don't want to take away from any particular point. Hey, Crowbar, what's going on? Yeah, and last time, I just want to zoom in. I love all that, you know, and we're just using part. You know, we're just using a bit of that animation, not the entirety. And the backside at night looks super cool. During the day, you can see the effect I added. So it's impressive. Although right now it's good. You know, the back looks good. And we have a giant collision bubble there, so I can't, you know, we have this stupid menu in our way. But, you know, nice color. Got a little animation in there. You know. A wing flap. All right, let's go and I need to get away from this thing. I mean, they're neat, they're fun. I like what we got going on. The new animations are beautiful, but you know, I've got a small version and a large version going here, so I gotta kind of, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing here with them. All right, let's get out of here. We'll quit to mode. Although R&Ding, I should just do it there, but give me just a moment. I just need to get away from that for a minute. Just a minute. Let me walk around in the city for a second. I'll go up to the side. I'll look through the parts because some of the parts I know I have in the save that I haven't collected yet in the save we were just in. So I think it would be easier. But a wing flap? Shave man, you out? Take care, bro. Never made a teleport cannon, but Beeble and I made a racetrack and a roller coaster back in the day. Music for half a second. But I've been shot out of teleport cannons. I mean, not in real life, but that would be cool because I mean we have teleporters, which we don't. Damn it! I want a teleporter. Elon, get on that. I knew we should have stopped there on my way home. Damn it! Foolish man. Foolish, foolish man I am. All right. Flapping. What could you? Nothing really moves in a flapping scenario. It's hard to. I'm trying to figure out like what could we add to another part. Like the wing, you know, a flapping motion you could kind of get using a one of the sails, maybe. Like. Or a flag. You know, if you took a flag and you you know, did something like that, I know, I think Shin did yeah, this is what he did, I think, on his Dragonfly. But, you know, you could take a flag and that'll give you sort of a flapping motion. Does that help, Tamara? I mean, that's the closest to like a flapping. You know, and the only other part that moves in that kind of fashion, you know, I mean, maybe you could, I mean, first you'd have to get this, you know, and then you got, this is always weird. What I don't like about these is, no, that doesn't really do much, does it? Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, flapping motion, oh yeah, dreaming. When's the last time you were here? This one actually took some effort, but this actually required a little trickery. So this here, I had to like do some wacky stuff to get that to work. But if you take a look at all of these here, that's all flag sticker combo. No, I didn't add any to that one. Same with over here. And this too, I so love how this came out with the new animation. I'm so happy it actually looks so much better. The light too shows the rock in there. Oh, the spray now, the more fluid effect. It just looks so much more like water. Oh. Captain, did I say hi? I don't know if I said hi on it. If I didn't, hello. If I did, well, hello again. Yeah, that looks so good like that. Oh, so happy. All right. I just needed to walk around this area for a second. Oh, but the posters on the door thing. So if you take a look at this window here, uh, you got the one-way mirror kind of one-way glass thing, right? What's the water made of? I give you three guesses. Light fissures, base terminus. um, and when they changed the base terminus, from the original animation to what it is now, when uh, when somebody told me when we first got the update, someone was like, they changed the animation. I was like, like, how's your fountain? I was like, my fountain! I was like, no! And I ran over to it. I'm like, oh, wow, it looks better. I was like, it looks even more like water now. I was like stoked. There's so many little bits and pieces in this joint, and there's so much more I would love to add. I want to do more of these sort of things, these little kiosks and, those stands, So much more I would like to do. Got to do, oh yeah, actually that reminds me. We got a bunch of stuff in here we gotta. Are you even connected to anything? You don't look it. Kind of wish we had a half pipe. Like, see how that just sticks out a little bit there? Or actually have that, if we had our original curved pipe choice like we used to, I think that would suffice. Any other wayward pipes hanging around? No? Okay. Just make sure we didn't screw anything up on the outside. That's still the same, and that's still the same. Okay. Where's my buddy? Oh, they're not popping. Oh, okay, there you are. I was going to say, you should just pop in. There you are. What up, creepy geck? I love my creepy geck. There's our bartender. Alright, alright. You guys are popping a little slower than normal. Same with this one. This is rendering. It's taking a lot longer to render on that one than it used to. I used to pop in really quickly. But I will take that with all this lighting working the way it's supposed to. That's for certain. Where's my fish? There you are. Like, wait a minute, I know there's fish in that tank. Yes, actually, I do have a reactor room. That's the lower portion of it. Terrain's still behaving, so that's good. Oh, right on track. Yeah, I love that garden effect. Yeah, our lighting works, man. It works. Oh, this is so awesome. I haven't actually really walked around the city since the update and just enjoyed the fact that everything is lighting appropriately. Like, this isn't blinking and flashing and strobing and causing migraines. But yeah, the reactor portion of that right here. I still wish they had just given us this part without the wire mesh around it. It would have been so much better just to have this as the part. Like, imagine this part without that wire mesh around it, you know? And just having the, the planet spinning around in whatever room you decided to build it in, you know? Yeah. I've come to terms with this will never be featured. Or probably more likely in no base. I've never been featured in the Nexus, nor do I think I ever will be, for obvious reasons. um, this needs one more layer of these. This needs to come down here. Yep. And then that needs, although maybe, yeah, potentially. But yeah, there's one, if this even could be put as a featured build, which no way would it ever be. There's a couple of things that would prevent me from wanting it to be. One, I don't think I could decorate it to the point of true immersion. Two, unless they fix the length of the teleport cables, the whole system I had in mind doesn't work because the teleport cables are way too long and, cut through visually on your build. Excuse me. And especially here, where I have teleporters going, from here to, a bit of distance away in my, in my thought process with this. So, John Hall, what's going on? What's going on, Ash? Ash, I still got to get you to come in here and walk around. But there's so many things that need to get done for me to truly finish. There, shelving in here and, little control room, this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, rendering's getting a little bit weird lately. Yep, we got some render out there. The more signage and, there's so much negative space here that this whole area here I could do stuff on, and, again, like I have all this short range teleporter system I wanted to get rolling and I can't, I love the monitors. I'm still gaga over that. Firefly Garden too, I'm also pretty stoked with. I love Firefly Garden. And the vending machines, of course. Those were fun. That was a neat build. But see, I look around and I'm like, okay, we're starting to get there. Like we've got some pipe work here. That's starting to get into, yeah, right. Well, I think that, just, it's the ever evolving game, Ash. Think about the original parts we had. Oh, and then the addition of the newer part, it's grown and evolved and expanded and it's really become a beautiful, here when I was trying to look at this whole dealie the other day, I couldn't because, it was flashing and strobing and it was giving me, seizure-inducing moments. Bit of Star Citizen. I get Cyberpunk, Blade Runner. I was going for a Blade Runner-y, cyberpunk-y kind of, mix. I love this view right here. Little noodle sign, and you got the noodle bar right there. A lot of signage, that's one of my views, my favorite views. And that's the thing, like I'll stop in a spot and I'm like, okay, if I were walking through this, like, I would expect to see something here. There's too much dead space here. I feel like there needs to be, granted, but at the same time, I'm like, I really like the way all this detail looks. And we got to get him in the scene. Yeah, see, before... Oh, yeah, I went down to the, So, I'll stand here, I'll look, and I'm like, all right, well, this looks appropriate here. That looks pretty good. Got a little bit of negative space here to deal with, But then I look over here, and I'm like, all right, we need something, maybe in the middle here. Oh, hologram characters would be. See, that's almost a way to put, but yeah, you might. I would like to see a way for like you to put path written NPCs in your build, or they go from like point A to point B, and maybe you could see a little. I know it's dreaming, or at least from what I'm doing here by populating the city with my my terminus people, my workers, my weapons specialists, my extracraft specialists, just putting them in here like this. If it'd be at least if like someone came to visit, they would be able to see it. I mean, they have the same parts. Like, why wouldn't they be able to see it as well? Hey, Ballista, what's going on? Well, Ballista, you're always welcome to come and visit. But, like I tell everyone, initially the first visit or so is some terrain stuff. And then, after a while it settles down, you visit one time and there's no issues with the terrain. And here, like my creepy Gek, like it'd be so great to have. Actually, I want to do and I think JC said he was willing to video this, but I'd like to get, because I've had 16 people in here, and I'd like to get, a bunch of people in here walking around and film it. Yeah, and even if you did, I have to be here for you to see everything. You have to first join with me, get in my group, let everything populate, then you can get out of group, and then you can see it. But if I'm not here, you're going to get the 3,000 part upload, which is, a quarter of what I have here at this point. Let's see, here we got our extracraft specialist right here, keeping an eye on the garage. Again, trying to incorporate some of that mechanical bit, trying to get some of that detail in here. And this, again, just to, like, I love how the animation for the Terminus made this look even better. Made it look even more like water. Oh, okay. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, folks. I appreciate that. I should just turn off my icons, but now with the new animation, not only do we have the light fissure, as the waterfall coming down, and we have those little dashes in there, going downwards. Now with the new animation on the base terminus, we have that same animation, those flecks of light shooting outwards like spray. Plus we have, the condensation, the mist. That's why I used it in the first place. But now with the newer animation, it really has, much more of a water effect and much more of a water feel. John Vardy, what is going on? How are you? You want a snack? You hungry? I wish this is the first one I made. I wish I had figured out how to get the stickers on when they were inside. I went too large with the bottle. That was the problem. The one in the subway actually has the stickers on it. And same with the one I built in T's museum. Thank you, Dreamin'. What up, Flurba? There's my buddy. How you doing, buddy? You gonna go into your cave? You going in there? You gonna disappear? Yep, there he goes. Going home. Whoop. In exactly 10 seconds. I don't know how. I did not plan this. This was a complete accident. But seriously, 10 seconds later, there he goes. Hey, how you doing, buddy? And dreaming, like some of the early sticker on flag stuff that I was messing with, like this is broken screen. I was thinking about maybe redoing that one, but you know, it got some really cool effects. And this city is really designed to be seen at night. It is not as the nighttime hides all the mistakes. There's another one of my favorite signs here. And then these here, I want to do more with the 3D signs. But the problem with the 3D signs, because of the collision bubble stuff and how the stickers or decals work, you know, in this particular instance, it's fine because it looks like, there's a star over the ship, so it gives it that depth. But, it wouldn't be bad if, the sticker was behind those. But even if I, say, get help with somebody helping, and moving things for me, and then I would have put that in. As soon as you put the sticker back, it would overlay on top of that. Or if you remove the two, no matter what you did, it would always look like that. There's no way to kind of take away that layer, which is fine because it works well in, for other things. But if you look at the collision bubble here, the collision bubble for that sticker alone is way out here. Like, no joke. And that's just from the sticker. But at other angles, it's odd. You can kind of get behind it. But this is kind of where as we see the sticker, it's folded over. So, how the bubble kind of reacts in with that. Again, another one of the early, monitor sign, animated kind of things I was doing. Which I really want to do on this big one, but on the airship, but no freaking way. No way am I attempting that. This was a fun little sign here. You don't really see the 16 until, it turns on. And again, at night, it looks better. That purple sign. Purple sign. The 3D one? With the light fissures and... Oh, John, this has been one of the most contentious updates we've seen. I've never seen the... Oh, thank you. I'd never seen the community this upset with an update before. What I like about this sign is granted, I should have done it lower. It would have looked cooler. You could actually get up and see the monitor portion of it, the scan lines moving and, the color variant in the, which now I wish I had the other sticker. Yeah, whatever. I could change this. It's actually not too hard. I just bring the pipes up, hold it, remove those two, change the stickers on the lights, put the pipes down. But I just like all the motion in it, and how the bubbles are going up along with the top scan lines. I should have flipped the other ones to the other way, but I personally, it fixed a lot of things I was having issues with here. And a lot of that was like, I'd get close to one of these signs and it would just start, strobing and flashing. I like earlier I was saying I couldn't even stand. Oh, and this room here, oh my God, this room was a nightmare. Um, just walking down this hallway, like the lights would flicker and flash, and then you'd walk up here and this room would look dark, and then you'd get up and the lights would be like flash, 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 crazy, crazy, and you'd look in one direction and, behind you would be flashing, um, and whatnot, and then you're like, and the sconces would, flash independently. Never mind putting the gardens in here. Oh my God. Put the little gardens in here and I was hoping that it would get fixed really. And down here, like the lighting was different. So you didn't really get to see the detail in the ceiling. It was very dark. And now, you come in and the lighting is nice. It's appropriate. The lighting color I chose works. And down here was actually oddly enough stable. The lighting wasn't really an issue. Every once in a while, these would kind of go a little funky, but predominantly, it really wasn't a problem. So, all in all, and again, the silly things, the video phone booths, I love these, Granted, it's a hazard protection, obviously, but, had buttons like a phone, and if you remember Blade Runner, the bar scene, they had a video phone in there, and, when he called Rachel from the bar, I'm not that kind of girl, Mr. Deckard. That was kind of, the blimp, the airship here, and those are kind of an homage to Blade Runner. It was my little nod. Okay. This happens every once in a while where the posters disappear. They were here a moment ago. I'm sure if we had to reload, they would have come back. But yes, so there does every once in a while happen to me. Even I will lose a part here, and a quick reload usually fixes the problem. But and Ash, you've seen the planetarium, I would imagine. Oh, that's right. I took the parts out here. I gotta put a new sign in here. Damn it, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's a communication booth. Yeah, it could be a suicide booth like in Futurama. I could make one of those. somebody'd have to build a small bender robot standing next to it for anyone to kind of get the reference. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty stoked with how this, this is pretty darn stable. For how many parts are we at right now? We are currently at 11,352. So for 11,300 parts, and it's doing this, like, this is unheard of in No Man's Sky. We used to have problems with 1,500 parts. Yes, when we first got the new 300 new parts a year ago is when I started the project. And it was, bit by bit, It was, oh, hey, we just got a bunch of new parts. What can I do with them? Oh, hey, we just got a new build mechanic. What can I do with it? And this sort of turned into a giant R&D. I haven't even really done a build yet. Like, I haven't done a build since in a year, if you think about it. This is an R&D. This has been one huge R&D. This all started with that building and the planetarium. I came here, with the intent of hiding the wire mesh from the planetarium, and we had just learned how to scale up all the parts. So I'm like, oh, I can make that part big, and I hadn't figured out how to snap full-scale parts yet. Well, not snap. I haven't figured out my technique to align them. So I went with, I had to go with what I knew, and, the perfect circle technique hadn't quite been perfected yet. So we were doing circles in an old manner, and, it was a brand new update, a huge change to the build mechanic. So I was in here like, oh, what do I do? What can we do? What do we got? Hey, we just learned how to make walls big and floor, and everything I want to make larger, I can make larger now. And so I was like, all right, well, let's make, the hollow room there, whatever they want to call it, I forget what they call it. Let's make that big, but let's try to hide the mesh. Like, if I can just skim that out of there. And then once I built it, I'm like, well, now what? And then I had just, in another build, I had just created the building blocks to make these towers, and so I started playing with that, and again, like, I've been looking at the same parts for years, and all of a sudden I've got like 300 new parts. And, I was just stoked to be looking at new things and going, all right, well, now what? How do I, and what do I, and how do I, and, what does these two look like together? And what if I mix this and this? And what if I do that? And, and then at the time, we're trying to flip things around again and learn how to do that again with a new build mechanic. And that's where these shapes came from. Which actually I think are, no, those are just, yeah, okay, that's right. And that's where this came from, and then all of a sudden we had no collision anymore, which, thank you, Shock. Yes, Ash. So, and Ash, these are like this style here. Like, this is mostly rooftop. All of it is rooftop, really, and it's super easy to make. It's, I mean, for you, it's super, super easy. You just make a cube of them. But the thing that works with these, and why these kind of work for the console anyway, like all these columns here, is once you have a set of these, and what I did was I took a floor panel. I basically I made a cube out of floor panels, right? Thank you, Shock. Appreciate that. 07 Shocking off for the $2 super chat donation. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So once you have this set up, all right, so you can continually stack and alter the appearance. Actually, John, it's funny you mentioned the kaleidoscope thing. Now, in order to do this, how I did it anyway, Ash, I know you've got access to Blenderino, but I took a floor panel, and for this one I went with the new alloy, and I did it this way for a slight aesthetic reason, but you can do it, you know, and you would do it very differently. But I dropped that, went all the way around the four corners, ended up with that. I'll do one more just to kind of show you. Whoa. How the hell did I end up in here? Ah. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a problem. I never created an in and out for up here. I only had the first floor down. I forgot to put in the second floor entrance. So once all right, hold on, just so I don't fall into somewhere else I can't get out of. All right. Thankfully, that wasn't too bad of an issue. All right, so, and you know, you can do this any way you get to this effect, but you know, for us console players, we have to, you know, either use pavers and flip this. But if you do it with a paver, there's a slight difference in it. So anyway, you get all four around, all right? Then I take windows, lined the entire thing, with windows, and you have to have the other side available here. Because if you don't, it's got nowhere to attach to. And I may even, you know, there may be a step I'm adding that I don't need to add, but all right, then Yeah, because you need to be able to do that, right? So then once you have that, then you take your roof and it allows you to do the crossover, right? And then you would have the other side here, like so. So you got your double. I love that. And that's how you get the cross. And then what's cool about putting the windows in ahead of time is you also can change the look. And then if you want to, you know, what happened there? Oh, that's weird. It doesn't let me change back on that. Huh. Strange. That was weird. Giving me floor options, and that's a window. I don't know, it was the floor. Huh. But anyway, you get the idea. And that's how I make those towers. And then lighting them, you just, you know, like these here, you just throw some lights in there. And then you get that nice, I thought I was getting the window, but apparently, yeah, you're right, I was just getting the floor. So, there you go. It's kind of my city in a nutshell at the moment, anyway. Still got tons and tons of stuff to do, that's for certain. But we'll get there eventually. All right. So, let's head back to our new kaleidoscopy thingamajiggy. It needs more antenna. It needs something up here too. This is lacking. All right. Oh yeah, we got to go back to our other show for that. What time are we looking at? Oh, it's almost time. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to go to work till later tomorrow. I'm not on my normal schedule. Take care, Dreamin'. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, last saved 38 seconds ago. I want to say it was them trying to give us an undo for building. Like if you're saving every minute, you know, if you can catch it, you can go back that 1 minute. You know what I mean? Like if you make a mistake, you delete something, you're like, oh shoot, you can go back a minute. And I think that was kind of a solution for an undo. That's the only reason that I can think of why you would add in a save that happens. And we watched it. I sat there. We watched that save thing happen. Every minute it saved. So John, I don't know. I think we might need more light during the daytime. What do you guys think? I'm starting to think we might. I mean, look at these animations in here now. Look at that. Look at that swirly stuff and that color change. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to get that more uh, prominent. And then, we get the color changing cubes, but and the sparkles. And actually, you know what? It's weird. It's like, it almost, even though we have the light in there and we change that, no, there's our sparkle effect. There it is. I mean, look at the color twisty, sparkly bits. I mean, and then, from a distance, every kind of distant, or every perspective you look at it, it kind of has a different vibe to it. Now the steam comes in. And then this is the beginnings of all that. Although that's a 16 circle. This is the new animation on the wire, John, which is what led to me trying to figure out how to make a circle of these things, since we can only do so many connection points. But now, as we alter this and we change, we add lighting and we add other elements and parts and we get reflections and shadows and highlights, all of this is subject to change as it goes. But what I'm trying to, and I think what I need to do, unfortunately, which means tearing a bunch of stuff apart, is these need to go larger. You need to see that animation. So, in order to make full-scale versions of this, it would take some doing, that's for sure. But like that outer swirl, like if we come in here, take care, Shock and Awe. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Make a tunnel of them? Yeah, again, it's a new thought for me on some of this, I mean, it's a continual thought of just using, sections of parts of pieces of, but because the animations are so new, I hold on. Just for a moment. Well, I see the HUD disabled. You still get that stupid menu. I hate that menu. I don't need it. I have no use for that menu at this point. All it does is get in my way. But now if we take all this stuff out, we can see a little bit better. But what I'm really trying to highlight is this. See that swirling effect in there? We're just catching that. That's what I'm trying to like really kind of bring out more. And I think in order to do that, I got to scale these up larger so that it's more visible. I think that's the problem. But my concern with that is that, we might end up with too much of the smoky bits. And then when we lose, see how it changes from distance? That's my other concern, is as we change in distance, that they keep it, like even when you're close, you don't see all the cool animations that they'd made in there. Like, I think from a distance, it should have that kind of, that smoky bit, right? The misty bit. But then as you walk up to it, you're looking through the mist, you're getting past the mist visually, and now you would see what's beyond the mist. The mist would be there, but then now you see that. And we have this interaction here, and then, plus the interactions here. Oh, right on. So, what I'm thinking is, if we can do a larger version, that's kind of why I have the third one set up over here. Glitch timing, I swear. It is definitely different. This is a halfway point. It needs to be less than half. Okay, it's I'm on a PS5. Yes. Thanks to my amazing coworkers who felt bad that I had a crappy birthday. I was getting kind of pushed around in my job. All right, we'll start. Actually, I think, where was I here? I hate when that happens. The glitch timing is so different. I'm 100% convinced that they changed the timing. Or, you know, may not have done it on purpose, but it definitely feels like there's been a timing change. Alright, so it needs to come down a little bit. And it needs to go the other direction. Although, it doesn't have to, because I can just click on the other side and then reverse it. And we're too far forward at that point. So this is, yeah, it needs to go larger, because look, now almost where this is, so we need to have this where the light is behind that. Like, see the flashing dash light here? That needs to be behind that flooring. All right, so let's bring that down, which then makes us have to remove all of that. And then that. And then we're going to go this way. Actually need to pull from that direction when I tether it. So this would be our front was on this side, right? Our back was on that side, rather the front's actually the nub. So we were here before. Let's bring this up to here. We just had a little space that we were short, right? Wasn't a whole lot. Even the turn has gotten a little better. It's a little notchier the way it should be. Like, I seem to be getting a little bit more parallel. Yeah, okay. So, we need to bring that way back. But centered, that looks pretty good. We could probably go a half step down. Yeah, we might be able to go a half step down, and I think we'd be all right there. We'd be pretty centered. Let's try that and see what we get. We need to go way back. All right, so we brought it to here. Let's need to go back even further. Damn. Yeah, we're a little too low now. That might end up being a manual placement. Or I'd have to like shim, but that's not horrible, it's just not centered. I mean, it's centered there, but up and down where it almost looks like I could probably stack a couple of thin pavers on top of that just to kind of shim it. I think we'd be alright with that, but our biggest problem here is we need to come back further. Ooh, that pretty much, I think, is it. Oh, good luck, Ash. Right, so we may need to come out. Yeah, see, and the larger I go, look, now we have a lot of that mist, even up close. And look at the animation, how it changes. Now it's a little more of a rapid, it seems more rapid anyway, you know. We are getting, we are seeing a bit more of that. Yeah, look at how it's pulling in. So it's pulling in whatever you put in there. So, like, see how it's taking the floor panel here and distorting it? DG, what is going on? See how it's really twisting that? That's... Alright, how do we... So we need to interact with it and hide at the same time. Alright, so that needs to go in afterwards. Alright, so now would be a time where it's helpful to have a friend around who can move things for you. But we also put that in later. But see all that interaction here. Which means, what if we... Oh, see, that doesn't change color. This does. Ooh, we just leave that open. Yeah, see, that hits a collision bubble right there. Alright, so get that out of here. Back to legacy pieces. What if we use concrete? And we go say, let's, go blue and white. Oh, you know what? Let's go yellow. Let's see if that. That really didn't do anything, did it? Although, look, yeah, the swirl, again. It really is about what it's interacting with on that. Yeah, it's pulling from the floor. So, alright, so what we need to do is, so it's pulling from the background, so if we put our sticker on ahead of time, so this actually doesn't make a difference, and actually black is probably better. So, then if we take a sticker, we'll go with this one, just I knew that was going to happen. Why? Because I actually knew where I was going to go with the piece. Yeah, yeah. That has to be put in ahead of time. But see, it's pulling that sticker. Yep. Mm. Losing on the floor there a little bit, but yeah, again, we'd have to throw in the ambient lighting, but now look at. Yeah, 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 yeah. See how that, oh, all right, how do we make this work to our advantage? Because we can't let those stickers just be evident, but look how that animation is pulling. Oh, wow. Need to learn how to build again? But they just keep changing the game, yeah. Yeah, see how that's, look at that. Look at that. That is freaking sick. Yeah, look at that. All right, we need to figure out how to see, and that's basically what I was doing with the original, so only not as much. I mean, it definitely were how we were getting that, but that some of that is from the sticker. Okay, that's how that's happening. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so we don't need anything in the center. It's all coming from, although it did sort of help a little bit from the center. All right, let's. All right, how do we get this to do this, but not? How do we do things but then hide things? Oh, hey, that's nice and easy clean. I'll take that. Thank you. All right, so we would probably. wait a minute. What if we did? What if we did? Well, the sticker. There we go. Again, not striving for perfection here necessarily. I'm just trying to get an idea rolling. I'm just thinking mixing like these two colors and hoping it will work. We could try other colors too, but you know, other stickers, but all right, good enough. Right on, John, definitely. Yeah, except for the wire stuff you got to be careful with, you know, on cascade deletions. But yeah, it's definitely much better than it used to be, but there are still scenarios. Now, again, if we get this centered, we're way better off. There it is. That's what we want. That's it. We got to bring that centered. We got to get that centered properly, but that's definitely more. Yeah, that adds a really cool effect right there. So it's all about, okay, so it's interacting and mixing with things on the side. Yeah, see, at least that's more visible even in dark. Definitely needs light, but, and we got to center everything. I think once it's centered, it'll look killer. But, yeah, once that's centered, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. All right, we're going to pop this back up to half. That's not going to center us, but it'll get a lot closer than where we are right now. So let's do that, just so we can kind of get a look at it. Oh, shiz, I forgot about that. Oh, you biscuit. You darn biscuit. Okay. I forgot that's going to take all the stickers. Oh. Yeah, so now we know how this interacts a little bit better. So that's a good thing, right? Now we have an idea of what's going to make that kind of happen. So if we kind of hang out and put whatever color stuff on the outside of that, that should pull in and mix. All right, give me half a second, just because I'm like bummed I just lost everything there. So I'm going to put a hole in my lung. Key to this is getting that centered properly, which might actually mean scaling it down a hair. You know, we have to match. Although 3 times, that should put us in a similar spot. You know, well, I suppose I could set up the scaffold a little different. I mean, we are manually placing this in anyway because it's a scaled part. All right. Last attempt at this. And this time we're really not going to care. Getting tired, getting old and tired. Then I got no nip nip. Yeah, see. I don't know if it's. All right, so last attempt at this. Okay. Well, last attempt tonight. I'm sure I will make other attempts at this. But for now, because I am unfortunately having to work tomorrow, but thankfully I'm not waking up my normal early hours, although I will wake up normal early hours because that's what I'm programmed to do these days. But I will have a little bit of me time in the morning, which is nice. Not enough to stream, unfortunately, but I should be getting out at a decent hour tomorrow because I want to continue to work with this and share my experiences with you all and gain insight and things I may not be thinking of at the time I'm doing them, you know, so it's always nice when people are kicking around. That's why I love, aside from I just love hanging out with you guys, you know, you guys are awesome community, lots of fun. But, you know, it's also nice to get multiple brains kind of kicking around on the same idea, you know. Now, the problem I think we're going to have, and I probably should have unfortunately raised the paver ahead of time, but even that, I'm still concerned we may end up with a collision bubble issue when trying to put in the next part. Alright, I may have been premature on the lining this part up. Yeah, it is a little better, I will say. By no means perfect, but definitely better. Stop obsessing. Stop. Okay. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit smarter this time. Take that. I'm going to bring this over here. And that way we're having that with us. Fuck. Oh, wait a minute. Other way, moron. But what I fear is I'm not going to be able to get into that space. Ooh, alright, so we're going to have to go to the other side. And come at it from a different direction, that's all. Different perspective. Yeah, standard-wise, we're off on this. We'd have to figure it out, but that's better than it was. It's not. It was way too low before. Now we're kind of more appropriate. So what's happening over here, which is a similar thing, but just where our stickers are, and now we're also using lighting on this way. Oh, no worries, Ash. Thanks for hanging out, homie. Good to see you. Halfway through your gold? All right. Good luck. Halfway, that's good. You're over the hump. Over the hump. But this interaction is... Yep. We just got to get that centered. Once we get it centered, that'll look really good. And it'll pull the appropriate areas, it'll pull from those more appropriately. So, I think we've learned a few things. Thank you, Janice. We're just noodling with some ideas here, just trying to get something happening here. Trying to figure out how to, and I'm almost thinking that we'd almost be better pulling that from, maybe not the center, but, maybe just from the outer bit. And as soon as I move that, that's going to go. All those stickers are going to go. Ready, watch, move. Hey, that sucked. All right, but that's okay. We're fine with that. We know what we're trying to get to. We know what we're trying to achieve. And that's half the battle. All right, I think we made some progress. Why does it always have to be snakes? Yeah, and every once in a while it'll delete something when you move it, but for the most part, you should be okay. Some of the parts are still, unfortunately, phase deleted, while others are not. And, it really is kind of a, you'll start seeing what does things. Moon pools are less crazy, which is kind of nice. But this is the effect, roughly, that we're trying to get, but we're trying to get a little bit more of it, which is that right now I'm using light on this one with a little bit of sticker, but the lighting is giving us, our... yeah. Oh, you're talking about the inventory. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm still like, I love this update. To me, this is one of the better ones. It really kind of solved some stuff building-wise for me, especially with the lighting. This new animation is just sick. The wire is cool as hell. I may have been... some of these new effects I just came up with are pretty fun. I see some potential. I really can't wait to see what people do with it. Now, unfortunately, the only other thing with this one here, so now we have the central circle here, and I showed how I did that last night or the night before. How we were able to get the full circle starting from the center point, which is, impossible normally with electrical connectors, so we had to go a different route there. But, we can, and I think we're going to start seeing some really cool weaving. I know I'm already playing around with it. I was gonna leave one of the things I had up, and I'm like, I'll wait until I get it better. Um, using it, the wire for different effects, especially scaled. The scaled wire definitely looks really, really neat. Um, there's a ton of potential just with these two new animations. It's not even a new part; they're just new animations. And I think the other stuff that people are kind of freaking out about, I feel over time, as people become more accustomed to it and play with it and realize, oh, wait a minute, this is actually better in some ways. Why would they really, again, I was privy to this with the first build mechanic change, and then I learned my lesson. I freaked out. When they first changed the build mechanic, I freaked out. I was bummed. I'm like, I just learned how to glitch build. Like, I was just starting to get into, getting things, getting ideas out and blah, blah, blah. And Kibbles had just figured out the corkscrew, and we're talking, tier glitching days, and then all of a sudden, 6 months later or whatever, they changed the build mechanic. And we all freaked out at first. I was really bad. I was like, screw this, blah, 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 blah. Uh-oh, did I just delete something? Shit. And I think that's going to kind of be the same here with some of the stuff going on in, the inventories and whatnot. I think the biggest complaint that I'm like, why are you complaining about this? There's no reason to complain about it. And for me was, people are like, well, what's the point of playing survival or permadeath or creative or normal when you can just change all the settings? Well, yeah, you can. Doesn't mean you got to, like just because you can doesn't mean you have to. And if someone else does, that doesn't affect your game in any way. Play it how you want to play it. And that for me was, I'm like, why are you complaining about those? John, the parts I'm using for these currently are the new wire animation, which gives me, the spread there. And in order to get that particular effect in the middle like that, I had to start in the center and work my way out. Okay, but not with an electrical contact because you're only allowed 9 wires into one connector. So a total of 10 wires. So and that's why I went over to this one, John, so you could see. I'm using the same parts here right now. I'm hopefully going to add and alter. So it's the base terminus, the wires, and in this one over here, it is base terminus, wires, and the wayward cube, and some stickers, and a couple of lights, and the solar panels, arched stone rooftop, and the legacy metal floor, colored black. So we have the wayward cube that goes to the outside and is its default color. As it comes in and goes out, it changes color, comes to the outer bit, goes to default. So you have that white light. And then as they come in and merge and meet, all the colors change. And that was, and then we have all that cool, swirly, sparkly bits. Plus, on top of it, the pulsating eye in the center. It's definitely, definitely pretty neat. I am really, really stoked with this update. I honestly, I have not found a major issue yet. And again, to repeat myself, just because you can does not mean you have to. Like, when I first looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's neat. Difficulty settings. Okay. Oh, well, hey, wow, look at all these options. And enemy strength. The only time I would change this is if I decided to start a new save and create my own style of save, right? So, for example, difficulty, standard, perhaps. Natural resources, standard. Sprinting, standard. Scanner recharge, I might go standard. Damage level, standard. Technology, all that I might keep standard. Crafting, okay. I may or may not crafting free, or for building, or and just for building. And then maybe if I keep everything in a normal kind of way, I would switch it to standard unless I was building something, right? But say, somebody's playing in normal, and even though it really doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what kind of save you have, you can visit everyone, which is awesome. Stack limits. Look at this harsh. Combat. We could do predators on. We do standard here, on foot, standard. Enemy strength, standard. Ease of use, infinite nearby. Hyperdrive, we would keep as, base power. We might do free and normal save, just to help, but it doesn't mean you have to, again. It's all optional, So I'm creating my own version of play. But if I don't want to, and I'm like, you know what? I want to start a new normal save or creative save or whatever the case may be, I start that new save my way. I think it's a good thing. Yes, it does allow people to be like, all right, forget it. I'm just going to go easy on everything. But after a while, that may get boring to you, and you may want to, crank it up. Or you're a new player and you want to set everything more relaxed at first, and then as you gain confidence in the game, you're like, you know what, I'm a little bored now. Let me crank up the difficulty a little bit. Or you're a seasoned player and you're like, all right, normal was cool, but like, let's make it a little bit harder. Let's make it, a little more challenging. Ex- Exactly, Skeg. Exactly, So to me, I think that was a good thing. I don't see it as being a problem. And again, one more time, just to say it, just because you can doesn't mean you have to, right? Um, and for me, what I'm going to do is I will start a fresh save and I will set the parameters. I'll go through and I'll set the parameters and be like, all right, let me do a normal save, but, for the building aspect of it, let me just put that at, relaxed, or, whatever the case may be, or I just start a new save and I start a normal save, make it a little bit more difficult for me, so it's again, in my mind, a good thing. Oh, all right. It's time for me. All right. I have to get going here, unfortunately. As much as I love hanging out with everyone here, because it is one of my favorite things to do, is to play No Man's Sky and hang out with the No Man's Sky community. It is something I look forward to on a regular basis. And with that said, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, hanging out, keeping me company. I do want to again thank Where is it? Shocking off for the $2 super chat donation. I really appreciate all the donations, folks. My schedule is weird this week. Tomorrow I'm working till I forget, 6, I think. Yeah, 10 a.m. till 6, and then 7:30 to 4 on Saturday. So I may stream a little bit more those 2 days, but we know definitely on Monday I will be on. But until then, this has been me, Kevin C., thanking all of you again for hanging out and wishing all of you out there in the No Man's Skyverse a little bit of love, peace, and starship grease. Get those action pants on, get out there, and start building some wild and wacky stuff. Until next time, take care.